Working with the men and women in the Albany PD, when I was an Albany fireman, you really got to see what they did day in, day out in the community, and you only see a little spot, a 5-second clip, or something went wrong. But the care that they take in the community, they are kind of the backbone of the community. They're on the streets, they're in their trenches, they kind of let us know what's going on, and they deal with a lot of stuff. So our MVP Arena General Manager, Bob Belver, couldn't be here because of the wrestling going on today, which I forgot the anticipation how many people like high school wrestling in the crowds. But, their EMS director chased me down. I was just telling the mayor and the chief of police, I was at Wolf Road at the Marriott, and he's like, hey, you got to understand what these two extraordinary officers did and how it worked. And I'm like, he goes, you do know who I am, of course. I said, yeah, I do. And I didn't know who he was. I figured it out after he kept talking. Yeah, Mary, put it on the news. It's okay. So then then I knew who he was. And then I'm like, all right. And he was so excited because the system worked the way it should be. But the fact that these two officers not only jumped in when William Cummings, had a heart attack on the 20th of January at a Siena game, they did it effectively, CPR. They got involved, and by the time our EMS that's stationed in the arena got there, they didn't have to defibrillate, they didn't have to get involved. They're like, these two officers did everything quickly, effectively, and unfortunately he ended up passing away the next day, but he had, in 2 days, but he had time to, at least hopefully, Sean, to say goodbye to your family and your mom and everyone, but I do want to say to Ashley and Michael, thank you for everything that you've done effectively, and the fact that they stayed with Sean's mom until Sean could get there, and it just shows a different side that we really don't highlight. And I thought it's very important, especially being American Heart Association Month, to really highlight CPR. Bad CPR is better than no CPR. Everyone should take the time to learn CPR because God forbid this situation happens, you can't get to an AED, you can't get EMS there quick enough. It shows you when everything falls into place what happens. So I do want to bring up our great mayor of the city, Mayor Sheen, and our great Chief Hawkins. I say that because Sheriff Apple's not here. Our great chief to really talk about the men and women, and that Mayor Sheen has transformed a lot of not just the police department but the whole city workforce, and really just highlights the good side of what we do day in, day out. So please.
Thank you, Dan, and I do really appreciate the county taking time out of all of their busy schedules to say thank you to two of our police officers. And I want to thank Chief Hawkins because it's really his commitment to the men and women of this department that has prepared them to be able to respond to really almost anything and everything that can happen during the course of a shift. And I wasn't surprised by this story because I hear every day from our residents about police officers who go above and beyond. But I agree with the county executive, and again, it's why I'm so grateful that he took the time to do this. We don't stop and say thank you enough. And we need to ensure that our officers know that we see what they're doing, that it matters, that it makes a difference, and that it's important that we express that gratitude to them for all that they do when they are hard at work for our community, because you never know when an emergency like this is going to arise. And the ability of these officers to step in and immediately provide the aid that they provided allowed this family to have some closure, allowed an opportunity for family members to come and to be with a person who they clearly loved dearly and who meant so much to them. And, I think that I will never take for granted the work that our officers do, and I think it's important for us to remember that when we see them, when we encounter them. They are where they are for a reason, and we just might never know what that reason is, but there was a reason for you to be there at that Siena game at that moment in time. And I thank you for jumping into action, for being able to work as a team. We heard that loud and clear, really working together. And it is because of the leadership of Chief Hawkins and his commitment to training and to understanding the skill sets that our officers need in order to do the job today in the 21st century that I think has really transformed our officers' ability to be there and do what they did in this situation. So, Chief, say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, County Executive, and thank you both for your leadership. And just want to say that the entire Albany community, but especially the Albany Police Department, are exceedingly proud of what Ashley and Matthew demonstrated that day. Their compassion and empathy and professionalism went above and beyond. And so they embody what it means to be an Albany police officer. This recognition is well-deserved. Thank you.
On behalf of my family, I just want to certainly thank these two from the bottom of my heart. And I thanked the chief earlier on doing such a wonderful job training, but hiring as well. And I think it's important that we all, not just take our hats off to these guys, but also realize it goes beyond being an officer. The compassion was beyond measure. And, these two human beings they wear the uniform, they should wear it proudly, and they're just amazing people, uniform or not, And I wasn't there when my father first collapsed, but the amazing efficiency with what both of them did and the work they did, and Ashley was amazingly compassionate and kind to my mom. She stayed after a shift, stayed till I got there. It took me 2 hours to get where I was to Albany Med, and above and beyond doesn't even say it. It's just it's amazing, and in this day and age when there's unfortunately so much negativity around police and stuff, I think we all got to recognize these are wonderful people doing the best they can. And chief training, amazing. But hiring, look, the soul with which these guys possess is, again, it's beyond measure. It has more to do with the wonderful people that they are, at their core. And so, like I said, I cannot thank them enough for all that they did for us, for my dad, and it just the gratitude is beyond measure. So I'm grateful, and thank you again, you guys. I think it's amazing.
Sean, thank you for doing this. I know it's hard for you, and I know it was hard for you to come here, so to take the time to recognize these extraordinary officers, thank you so much. And it's your father, who was alum of Siena, that we were talking about this. The alumni of Siena, we always like to joke, it's like Notre Dame, right? They show up to every game, they go all over the place, they're always here, and your father's duly going to be missed at these games, and your mom, but thank you. So I do want to bring the two officers up. I don't know if you want to speak, if I want to put you on the spot, or if the chief's going to allow you to speak, or the mayor, or you just want to collect your award and smile. Or at least they're smiling. Cops can smile, right? Please, come on up. Mayor, chief. For you to say thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a little county coin. Can't use it at the casino, though. Actually, thank you so much. Thank you. Do you want to just take a picture?
Oh, it's
Just take a picture. You might get in a picture.
I would love to, thank you.